deduction as long as you use an area of your home exclusively and regularly for business operations.
Right.
That is the two requirements. You must use it exclusively and regularly.
So with the COVID over the past year, a lot of people went from working in an office to working at home. And one of the biggest questions that we came across this year was, can I take a home office deduction? Because those people were assuming that, hey, I'm now at home, and they've heard of this home office deduction that used to exist but doesn't anymore. Can you kind of give us the rules on home office deduction now, Andrew?
Sure, yeah, like I said, we get asked a lot. So if you are an employee of a business, you just receive a W-2, you're just an employee of a company, you really are not allowed to take a home office deduction. Like you said, there used to be a place that you could start deducting some of those home office usage expenses, but unfortunately that has gone away. So strictly just an employee of a company where you receive a W-2, there's really no benefit to you from a home office deduction standpoint. So it's different than if you own the company. So and it depends on how you're taxed, how the deduction really works. But if you own a company, whether it be an S corporation or a sole proprietorship, you can take a home office deduction as long as you use an area of your home exclusively and regularly for business operations.
Right.
That is the two requirements. You must use it exclusively and regularly.
Exclusively is the one that kind of hangs people up a little bit, right? Because they may be doing their administrative work at the kitchen table, and they're like, oh, okay, my whole kitchen is an office, things like that. It doesn't work that way, right? So it has to be exclusive. That is the only thing you use for that area. The IRS is not real flexible on this. It has to be a designated area that is all that's used. If your kid comes in there and does his homework, during the weekend there, it's no longer exclusive.
Right.
So they are very strict about that.
Right, so so assuming that you meet those two tests, you have a place that you use exclusively and regularly for your business, you're most likely going to be eligible for the deduction. So if you're a sole proprietorship and you pay your taxes on a Schedule C on your individual tax return, there's two different ways that you can get the home office deduction. You can do an actual expense method, or you can do a simplified method. We love the simplified method because it's super easy, but it's sometimes not always the best deduction. So we always run it two ways for clients to make sure we're maximizing it. But the simplified method is basically taking the square footage of your home office and multiplying that by $5. So the max the IRS gives you is 300 square feet for a home office. So if you have 300 square feet for your home office, multiply that by 5, you get a $1,500 tax deduction for your home office usage. It's a decent deduction, but you can usually get a little bit better with the actual expense method. But it really just depends. It depends on how big your office is and how much other expenses you have. So if you use the actual expense method, what you do is you figure out the percentage of your home that's used for the home office. So if you've got a 2,000 square foot home and you've got a 200 square foot home office, then 10% of your home's used for your home office, and you multiply that 10% by your mortgage interest, your utilities, your homeowner's insurance, HOA fees, a depreciation portion of your home.
And if you're renting, then it's the rental.
So a lot of times
it works really well for rentals.
It does. So you multiply that percentage by an accumulation of all of those expenses to figure out what your home office deduction is, and it's a real, it's an easy calculation to do on your tax return when it comes time to file your taxes.
Yes.
So I say that because for S corporation owners, you have to be a little bit more proactive about getting it, because for an S corporation owner, you have to have what's known as an accountable plan in place so that you can reimburse yourself as the owner for the home office usage of your home. You got to write a check out of the business to yourself. A little bit more formal.
You have to actually do something. You have to actually kind of reimburse yourself for that. And
it's not something very easy to do after the fact when we're doing the tax return. You kind of got to get that in place beforehand and be running it through the business. So under both scenarios, you're eligible for the deduction as a Schedule C sole proprietor or an S corp, but just two different ways to get to the deduction on the return.
Yeah. Awesome. Great information. So, if you have a business in which you work out of your home and you'd like to find out more information about claiming the home office deduction, whether it's a Schedule C or an S Corp, give us a call and we can help you out. Thanks.